My compassionate and imaginative Pisces friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Pisces, you walk into this week carrying an ache that is difficult to name. It moves beneath the surface, not quite sadness and not quite fatigue. There's a sense of having held yourself together for so long that the seams feel worn. Maybe it's the quiet tension of being needed by others even as your own reserves run thin. Maybe it's the way you wake and notice how heavy your mind feels, and how much you long for a moment that is just yours. The world asks more, and you want to answer, but something inside you is asking for gentleness, for pause, for relief from the constant current of expectation. It's not dramatic, this feeling. It's a steady, silent pressure in the chest, a gentle ache at the center of your week. You sense it most when you're alone, when the noise settles and the truth of your own tiredness floats up to the surface. In those moments, you wonder if anyone else notices, if anyone else can feel just how much you've been holding. The longing for comfort and for rest is real. It's not weakness. It's the honest language of a spirit that has given much and needs to be seen, even just by yourself. You begin this week in the quiet grip of strength, but this isn't about grand gestures or obvious displays of power. It's the kind of strength that no one else may notice. The kind that gets you out of bed when you'd rather stay curled beneath the covers. It's the patience you show in conversations, the way you listen, the way you carry someone else's worry as if it were your own. This quality is woven into your everyday, often invisible to those around you, yet undeniable in its presence. Underneath, there is a gentle but persistent resolve. You don't shout your resilience. Instead, you whisper it into the small choices you make. You lean into discomfort, not because you want to suffer, but because you believe in the value of staying present, of offering what you can, even when it costs you. At the same time, there's an unspoken exhaustion. You may notice how your patience wears thin more quickly, how your boundaries blur. There's a temptation to keep holding everything together, to be the one others depend on. Yet inside, that voice that calls for rest grows a little louder with each passing day. Your courage right now is quiet. It's found in the way you keep going, in the way you face what feels unmanageable, even when you don't have answers. That's real. It's also hard. You are not made of stone, and this week your inner life is marked by a soreness that's asking to be acknowledged. You may feel alone with this. You may wish you could set it down, if only for a moment. But still you persist. Still you meet each task, each need, each silent request, with a kind of gentle determination that is all your own. The pressure of this inner state gathers, and almost naturally it spills into the path you find yourself walking. When you carry so much, even unseen, the world seems to answer by adding more weight. The days ahead bear the signature of the 10 of Wands, a stretch of time where obligations stack up, where every commitment feels a little heavier. You notice how your to-do list grows, how the pace of life refuses to slow, no matter how you wish it would. There's a friction here, a sense that you're moving through molasses, every step weighted by what's expected. Some of these burdens are chosen, others not so much. Maybe you take on extra work because you can't say no. Maybe you agree to help someone even though you're tired. There's momentum here, but it's not a sprint. It's the stubborn, steady grind of simply not letting anything fall. The world doesn't pause for your exhaustion. Instead, it seems to demand more. There's frustration in this, a quiet resentment that bubbles up when you realize how rarely you allow yourself to ask for help. You find yourself looking at everything you must do and wondering who, if anyone, will step in. And so you keep moving, back bent with the weight of it all, not because you want to, but because you see no other choice. Still, within all this, there's a current of pride. You know you're capable. You know you can carry these loads, even if it means setting aside your own comfort for now. But the friction is real. The longer you move under this pressure, the more you risk losing sight of the small joys. The more you carry, the more distant ease and lightness feel. The days blur together and you may find yourself moving on autopilot, just trying to get through. It's not defeat, it's survival. And still, deep down, you wonder if this is all there is for now, if the heaviness will ever lift, or if you will just keep moving, one task after another, until you forget what it feels like to rest. The possibility of something different, something lighter, depends not on circumstance but on how you meet this moment. You have a choice, even when it doesn't feel like one. The path you're on is shaped by your willingness to see and honor your own limits, to recognize that resilience is not the same as invulnerability. If you move forward simply by default, the cycle of burden repeats. But if you pause, if you allow yourself to truly feel how much you've carried, there is room for something else to take root. The future isn't set. Your potential is not predetermined. It waits quietly for your conscious engagement, for your choice to respond to this week's pressures in a way that is a little more honest, a little more compassionate toward yourself. Only then does the possibility of change become real. And so, the Five of Pentacles arrives not as a warning but as a quiet invitation. It names the ache that comes from feeling left out in the cold, the fear that your struggles are yours alone. But it also brings the smallest spark of hope, the reminder that even in moments of isolation or scarcity, there is the possibility of connection, of warmth, of being seen. Growth, this week, looks like letting yourself be human. It looks like acknowledging the places where you feel depleted, where you wish for comfort that hasn't arrived yet. The world may not rush in to save you, but you can meet yourself where you are. You can notice the places inside that are sore and offer them a little tenderness. You might find that when you allow yourself to be honest about your limits, you give others permission to do the same. You might notice that when you stop pretending everything is fine, someone else steps forward, quietly, with kindness. This isn't about turning struggle into triumph overnight. It's about making space for the truth of your own experience, trusting that even in moments of lack, there is an opening for connection. Maybe it's with someone you didn't expect. Maybe it's with yourself. The invitation is not to fix everything, but to notice what is real, and to let that noticing soften the edges of your week. All three cards speak to a single thread that runs through your days, the tension between the strength you offer, the burdens you carry, and the quiet longing for comfort that is always present but rarely named. You begin with the silent resolve of strength, holding yourself upright in the face of invisible pressures. The world responds with the relentless demands of the Ten of Wands, piling on tasks and expectations until the very idea of rest feels foreign. Yet, beneath it all, the Five of Pentacles waits, not with judgment but with understanding. It reminds you that feeling weary, feeling alone, is part of being alive, and within that space there is always the possibility for something softer. Maybe it's the gentle recognition that you are already enough, even when you're tired. Maybe it's the discovery that vulnerability is not a weakness but a doorway, one that opens slowly to connection and care. You are not meant to carry everything alone. This week, you are invited to let yourself be seen, to let your own needs matter, if only for a moment. In this there is peace. In this there is the beginning of relief. Rest is never far from reach, even if it arrives slowly. And you, Pisces, are worthy of it. Actionable insights for Pisces this week. Let the weight you're feeling be real to you just for today. Try sharing a small truth about how you're doing with someone you trust. Notice when your body asks for a pause, and let yourself take one, even if it's brief. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to feel tired and still be worthy. Even when I stumble, I am not alone. My honesty is a bridge to connection. I can meet this week with gentle courage. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.